G'day. G'day. This is Barney here, and I've got my friend over there, Betty. Hello, Betty.
Hello.
Hmm. And I'd like to welcome everyone to today's show, and I wanted to talk to you about what we've got behind us, which is essentially a vertical herb garden. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm just getting out of the way so that you can have a look at it yourself. But I mean, look at all the colours. Look at the look at how tidy it is. And when I say tidy, I mean it's managed in a vertical fashion, so it wouldn't have what you call a very big footprint. You could put it up against the wall. So, could you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this wall garden, this vertical herb garden, Betty?
It's a perfect garden for a small space. Most people might have very small gardens those days, so they could use the idea.
Hmm.
And it's perfect for the little hands to start planting their own seeds
Hmm.
or little seedlings
Hmm.
down the bottom rows.
Yep.
So then mom and dad can continue
Yep.
up further up where
Hmm.
the children cannot reach.
Mm.
But everyone can plant something. This would be wonderful opportunity for the whole family to meet in the backyard and enjoy it.
Mm. That's right, and I think it would be such a good thing to do is to actually in the teaching of your children, but also in your own life, is being able to just walk up and get some garnish, get some greens and some colour, even from some of the flowers. I'm not sure if these flowers behind us are all edible, but I know there's a lot of flowers out there that are edible, and they're good for you, and they feed you and they feed your belly, and
Mhm.
that's another part of what I wanted to talk about today was actually the whole cycle, the whole food cycle that starts with okay, you grow something, but in actual fact, it starts before that because before you grow, you've actually got to consider the environment that the plants are growing in. And that means that you actually have to feed the plants, or at least you feed them minerals, or you put compost and run it through a compost bin, or you have a worm farm and you use the worm casts. There's all these different things that you can do to actually feed the plants so that the plants are healthy. Is that what are your thoughts on that, Beata? Betty?
Yes, definitely the health of the soil means the health of your plant. It's very much improved that way.
Hmm.
So if you plant in a poor soil, there is nothing much that could be done for that plant. The
Mm,
pests will
mm,
attack it and destroy
mm.
it.
Yeah, no,
But
we don't
if
want that.
you but if you have a healthy soil, there
Hmm.
is so many bugs and funguses that are beneficial and friendly,
Hmm.
and they are friendly to the plant and further up the chain to the animals that are eating it, like
Hmm.
me or Barney,
Hmm.
and then further up the chain. And don't be afraid, Barney, it's not our time yet, but further up the chain for all of the humans.
That's right. That's right. And we all have a, if you like, a relationship in this world that we live in. And it's interesting when you talk about the bugs that feed the plants and the plants that feed us. But I also understand that there are bugs inside us that convert what we eat into the nutrients for our body, and they're called, what are they called? Are they called
They
micro
are called microbiome.
microbiome? Okay, microbiome. That's not easy to say, is it? Microbiome. And what are these microbiome, Betty?
These are friendly bacteria that are inside our intestines,
Hmm.
and they are very helpful in processes of digestion and assimilation of the foods that we're eating.
So,
So, mm,
yep.
they
So if we're feeding our bellies, but also feeding the microbiome, then that
Yes.
actually feeds us so that the nutrients that are in the food are transferred across the membrane into our bloodstream and they feed us. Is that what you're saying?
There is even more to that because they are actually sharing genes with us. Can you imagine that? This is a very wide topic, so we're only touching on that,
Mm-hmm.
but the interaction is so complex
Mm-hmm.
that we have to go back to natural way of feeding ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Stop relying on supermarkets so much.
Mm-hmm.
Everything needs to be fresh and grown in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. That's beautifully put. And I guess we look at such a beautiful backdrop as this. We got this from a website, and it looks it to me it looks lovely. It looks scrumptious. It's colourful, and it's feeding us by feeding the microbiome. And if we feed the plant properly, there's also some
Zimas,
microzemas in the soil.
mycorrhizals, yes,
Mycorrhizals. There's all these microbes that actually feed the plant. They break down the minerals that are in the soil, the rocks, the wood, the humus, the fungi, the minerals that are there. It breaks it down, feeds it to the microzemas, and the what are they?
rhizomes.
Mycorrhizals, and then that feeds
You
the plant.
getting in a deep water there?
I know. I'm always in deep water, I tell you. I was born in deep water. There's a funny story about that. My mum's got a funny story about me in deep water, but we won't go there. We just know that it's a lovely story and it's only something that mums should know about. I can't share with other people. Just it is funny though. Right. So it's a whole ecosystem. It's a whole it's a circle of life in our Garden of
Yes.
Eden that we
Yes.
understand that the sheep are there and they're there to be eaten. I understand that the fish are there; they're there to be eaten. But in the same instance, um, the nutrients that are in the soil feed the plants, that feed the animals, that feed us, and they feed the microbiome in our bellies that release the minerals so that we're actually healthy, and we are in optimum health. And I think that's just a wonderful story about the circle of life. This
Yes.
is Betty and Barney at the Home Forum, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We've loved having you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Bye.